From all parts of the globe, immigrants have come to the United States. Throughout the entire world, our country is known as the land of freedom, the land of opportunity. Foreigners entering New York Harbor for the first time find ours of fabulous land. We have cities as large as any in the world. We have rich farmland to furnish food for our people. Our mountain country is spectacular in its beauty. But our deserts are barren, lonely, desolate, uninhabited for miles on end. For America, with all its beauty, all of its wealth, is a land of tremendous contrast, where poverty and wealth, squalor and beauty are often next-door neighbors. Isn't it strange to find that this rich country, which millions seek to enter, is by no means the rosy land of opportunity to its original owners, the American Indians? Let's take one tribe, the Navajos, for instance. Their reservation lies in 3 states, but principally in Arizona. For generations, these fine, strong people have made a living raising sheep. But now their population has grown so large that their land will not support them. They cannot raise more sheep because there's not enough grass for more. There's plenty of good farmland on the Navajo, but even with full development of irrigation, there is not enough for all. Few Navajos speak English, so it is hard for them to move away from their reservation. Many of them are sick. The Hopi Indians who live on mesas surrounded by the Navajos also have a hard time. Yes, Navajo land is a beautiful place to live, but as it stands today, overgrazed, eroded, undeveloped, it just won't support all of its people. No one wants to be hungry, even in a beautiful place. Many Americans, both Indian and white, wonder how this problem can be solved. Here is a plan that will help. About 300 miles from the Navajo in western Arizona lies the Colorado River Reservation. The climate is warm and dry, and many things will grow. The Colorado River is right alongside. But for years, thousands of acres of this rich land lay idle because the river often flooded and destroyed the farms in its valley. Centuries of flooding deposited rich sediment in the valley bottom, making this Indian land excellent for farming. Today, Hoover Dam, highest in the world, keeps the mighty Colorado from flooding. Now, a regulated amount of water is released to the valley farms below. Downstream from Hoover Dam, the Indian Service built Headgate Rock. This dam diverts some of the Colorado's water into reservation canals. The 200 Mojave Indian families now living on the reservation are not hungry or destitute. They have good land, good farms, good cattle. These Indians make a good living from their farms. Long staple cotton is one of their principal cash crops. During World War II, Japanese people were moved from strategic war zones to unused portions of the reservation. Almost as soon as they had arrived, the Japanese started subsistence gardens in the fertile soil. 1,100 acres were leveled and put under cultivation before the Japanese left at the end of the war. The Mojave Indians, who are now living on the Colorado River Reservation, farm only about 5,000 acres. There are almost 75,000 additional acres of land which can be developed into one of America's richest farming communities. What will it take to develop this area? What will it take to change this raw, unused land into productive farms, farms that are capable of supporting nearly 18,000 Indians? The first step is to clear the brush and trees away. Then the debris is burned. Then large tractors, bulldozers, and scrapers do the rough leveling. Disking is the final step in preparing the rich land for its first planting. After leveling, it is seeded to alfalfa. This planting does two things. It keeps the loose dirt from blowing away, and it enriches the soil. But for the new settler, the most important thing of all is the crop, which provides him with an income during his first year. Compare the farms of the Colorado River Valley with the fields of the Navajos and Hopis. The Indian Service has many applications from Indians who want to move to the Colorado River Reservation. Each family who makes an application is interviewed by an Indian Service employee. The Indians ask about the land. The government man explains that each family gets a 40-acre assignment. He explains how fertile the valley is, how many crops can be grown and rotated. Gardens in the new area will grow almost anything a family could want. The Indians wonder where they will live. The old barracks occupied by the Japanese during the war are now available for temporary homes. Indians employed by the government are getting the buildings ready. Trading posts are already in operation in the valley. Paved highways and the school bus bring education close to all Indian children. The Indian Service Day School teaches the 3 R's like any elementary school. There are practical courses too, like those offered in home economics. In the school garden, the children learn to grow their own vegetables. Every community needs medical care. The Colorado River Indian Hospital serves all Indian families. To many Indians, the new area presents a wonderful opportunity. Many ask, when can we go? Right now, there are more applicants than the project can accommodate, but the work is going rapidly. Many prospective settlers work for wages on the new area while they wait for their assignment. This allows them to become familiar with the new country going to settle and gives them an opportunity to save up a little cash. But more than that, a man who has worked on a project he will eventually own will feel much closer to the farm he finally gets than he would if it had just been given to him without work or effort on his part. Can resettlement of Indians be successful under these conditions? Yes, already a group of 56 Indian families have moved from the beautiful but barren mesas to this new frontier. The old barracks furnish temporary housing as soon as they arrive. The government has money to lend Indians who need help. since few of the settlers have enough cash to start. Credit is very important. Each applicant's needs are carefully evaluated before a loan is approved. With 40 acres of good land and credit for equipment, these settlers have an excellent chance for success right from the start. Often the colonists are not familiar with the new soil and climate conditions, so extension men help them solve their problems. Alfalfa is one of the valley's most important crops. The reservation produces 6 to 7 harvests every year. The alfalfa grown on the reservation grades with the best, and some of the new settlers have bought their own hay baler. California buyers pay a good price for this hay. In the past, the price has reached as high as $35 a ton. But alfalfa is not the only crop grown. Tall stands of corn are common in the valley. Milo maize is grown for feed. This combine is owned by the Indians. Cattle raising is becoming important. These fine cows and calves were born and raised on the irrigated pastures of the valley. Some people wonder if Indians are good credit risks. The record is the best answer. In the last 14 years, less than 0.5% have failed to pay. Over 99% of the Indian borrowers have met their credit payments. Indians are proud of their equipment and take good care of it. Son learns from father. This family has a comfortable place to live. A garden provides plenty of food for their table. 17 miles from the project, up the river at Parker Dam, electric power is generated. Cheap electricity makes it possible for every Indian in the valley to earn the normal comforts of American life. This Indian mother has an electric refrigerator to keep the child's milk cold. Her washing machine lessens the drudgery of housework. Most colonists want to build their own homes as soon as they are settled. After the site is staked, they check the layout of the rooms. These men are mixing concrete to be used in the foundations of their new homes. They furnish all the materials used in building the houses. Apparently, they must be pretty happy with their new farms. A man doesn't spend his own time and money building a house of cement blocks just for a temporary stay. While the cement is drying, some of the Indians salvage lumber, windows, doors, and other materials from the old buildings used during the war. Some of these surplus barracks were sold to Indian veterans. Indian children enjoy candy as much as other kids. They buy it at this new store, just opened by a Hopi man. As this land is settled, more jobs will be created in other stores and new enterprises. This fertile land, deposited by centuries of flooding, needs only development. The waters of the Colorado River are alongside. From a reservation that cannot support all of its people will come the Navajos. From the arid mesas will come the Hopis. Here is a land of rich soil, provided with plenty of water. Here is the chance to earn a good living where no one feels insecure. Some of the Indians of the Southwest may find their opportunity on this new frontier.